that this 10 meters means that this whole segment is 10 meters long. This would be the height of this complex shape. Okay, they've also given us this 8 meters. Again, it's like in the 10 meters is like in the middle of this segment here. So I'm going to assume that this entire segment then is 8 meters long. From here to here is 8 meters. From here to here is 10 meters. They've given us a 4 meter here, which is in between this side. So I'm going to assume that this segment from here to here is 4 meters. They've given us this dimension is 6 meters. I have to assume that that means this little ledge right here from here to here is 6 meters. So we've accounted for each number that's been given. This 8 meters pertains to this entire segment. This 10 meters pertains to this entire segment. This 4 meters pertains to this short segment. This 6 meters pertains to this short segment. Okay, so now we're going to work with one figure at a time, one shape at a time. Let's do the shaded one first. So remember, we need a base and a height, or a width and a length. So for this shape, the length or the height has already been given as 10 meters. Now what we need to do is find the width, or the base. That's the base. The width is the base. We need to find this number. And this number right here, this right here is also the width. So you can call that the base. You can call this the base if you want to. You can call that the base. The base is like the width. The height is like the length. So the length is given. We just need to figure out what this is right here. So we're going to use our other shape to help us figure out what this dimension is right here. So I'm going to use this side of this shape because they've already given me the length of this entire segment. This entire segment is 8 meters. Now the opposite side of this is this. So if this is 8 meters, then this whole thing right here, I'm going to put dotted lines right across here. If from here to here is 8 meters, then over on the opposite side, from here to here has to be 8 meters. From here to here is 8 meters. That means from here to here is 8 meters. So now they've given us a portion of that 8 meter segment on the bottom by telling us that from here to here is 6 meters. Well, this is 6 meters, and this entire segment is 8 meters. Then this section right here, the width of this shape has to be 2 meters. This is 2 meters. That means this is 2 meters up here. From here to here is 2 meters. From here to here is 6 meters. I'm going to put this on the inside. And then if this is 2 meters, then the opposite is 2 meters. This is 2 meters. This is 2 meters. Then this has to be 2 meters. So now we've just figured out what the width, which is also the base of this shape is. So now we have both dimensions to calculate the area just for this shaded shape. We've got the base at 2 meters, and we've got the height. This is the height at 10 meters. So the area for this shape is 20 meters squared. Okay, now we still have to figure out what the area is for this shape. Okay, so for this shape, and we're looking at this, we're not considering the shaded. We've already calculated the area of the shaded. We just want what's open right now, this. So we actually have some information already. They've already told us that the base of this portion, this base is 6 meters. See how we calculated this to be 6 meters. Now we have to figure out what the height, how high, how long is this shape. Now I have to reference now the other shape to get that information, because over here I was told that the height over here is 10 meters. But this is shorter than that. How much shorter is this than that? Well, I got some information. Down here is 4 meters. How do I know that? Because from here to here is 4 meters. The opposite side has to be 4 meters. This has to be 4 meters. I'm going to write 4 on the inside. I mean, here to there is 4. From here to there is 4. Okay. So then, if this entire side is 10 meters, how do I know that? Because from here to here is 10 meters. The opposite has to be 10 meters. From here to there is 10 meters. And they've already told me that from here to here is 4 meters. So from here to there has to be 6 meters. This has to be 6 meters. From here to here is 6. From here to there is 4. That means this entire segment is 10. And that's correct because the opposite side is 10. So I just figured out by taking the entire length, this 10 meters, and subtracting out this 4 meters on the outside here, and have calculated that this segment has to be 6 meters. That means this over here, this side, has to be 6 meters. From here to here is 6 meters. From here to there is 6 meters. So now I have the base and I have the height of this shape. This is a square. I have the base at 6 meters. I have the height at 6 meters. So the area is 36 meters squared for this square. And then, now I'm going to add those areas together. And the area of this entire complex shape then now is 56 meters squared. Okay. So now we have one example where we separated the shapes by drawing a straight line from right to left. And another example where we separated our shape by drawing a straight line from top to bottom. And either way, we could still compute the area, whichever way you want to separate. I think the key is trying to make sure you focus on one shape at a time. And what we're really doing is filling in the blanks. Some information is given, and other times we have to use the information that's given to figure out the missing sides. Okay, let's see. All of these look pretty similar. Let's try this one. And again, let's try adding a line from right to left. So I'm going to draw a line separating our shapes from right to left. Okay. Alright, so we have an upper rectangle and we have a lower shape. It almost looks like a square. We've got some information that's been given. This 8 yards, the way they've typed it, leads me to believe that the 8 yards means this entire side here. From here to here is 8 yards. This 2 yards, the way they've typed it, leads me to believe that pertains to this side. From here to there is 2 yards. From here to here is 2 yards. The way this is typed, since it's up this way, leads me to believe they're talking about this segment. From here to here is 3 yards. This is 3 yards. At the bottom, we've got 8 yards, since it's in the middle here. This leads me to believe that the 8 yards means this entire segment is 8 yards. Okay, so we have some missing sides. We don't have a value for this, and we don't have a value for that. Okay, so let's just decide which figure we're going to work on first. This time, let's work on the figure that's open. Okay, so if the figure that's open, this is a square or rectangle, looks almost square. But we know that this dimension is 8 yards. This would be called the width or the base. So we have the base. Now what we need is the height. We need to know how tall this is. What's this one? What's this dimension? What is the length of the segment from here to here? Okay, well, let's see. We can use the information we have. We're going to have to use our other shape to help us figure out the length of this 8-yard segment just from here to here. Okay, well, let's look at the upper segment, and we can draw some conclusions, make some deductions. So if this part of the upper rectangle is 2 yards, then the opposite side has to be 2 yards. From here to here is 2 yards. That means from here to here has to be 2 yards. I'm going to draw the 2 on the inside. From here to here is 2 yards. Now this entire segment is 8 yards. And we've just learned that the portion of that segment is 2 yards. That means the remaining portion has to be 6 yards. From here to here is 2. From here to there is 6. How do I know that? Because this segment is just a portion of this whole. I could take the 8 yards, the whole portion, and subtract out this portion and find the remaining portion to be 6 yards. So this is 6 yards from here to here. If this is 6 yards, then the opposite side of this shape, this has to be 6 yards from here to here. So now I have the base, and now I have the height. So the area of this shape, the open shape, is 8 times 6. What's 8 times 6? Gotta get the calculator. Sometimes I don't remember some of the simplest stuff. 8 times 6 is 48. 48 yards squared. Alright, now we have to figure out the area of the upper. Okay, so in the upper shape, we already know this dimension. This is the height, or this is the length. We need to figure out the width of this shape. The width would be from here to there. Okay, so now I'm going to have to use the opposite shape, the other shape now, to help me figure out what this number is right here. I already know down below this entire segment was 8 yards. So that means the opposite segment has to be 8 yards. From here to here is 8 yards. That means from here to there has to be 8 yards. Now a portion of the segment again has been given. From here to here is 3 yards. Well, if this entire segment is 8 yards, this portion of the segment is 3 yards. The remaining portion has to be 5 yards. I've taken the whole segment and subtracted out this portion of the segment, and I have 5 yards. This is 8 yards. 3 and 5 are 8. This is 8 yards. If this is 5, then this has to be 5 yards. So now I have 2 dimensions. I have the base and I have the height. So the area for the upper portion is 10 yards. The area for this entire shape then is 10 plus 48. That's 58 yards squared. Okay. Alright, so think about that, and then I'm going to call you in a little bit.